Everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing today, man? Listen to me, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, boy, it's your boy West Coast. We live in the building, man. And I'm gonna tell you this right here, man. When things happen the way they happen this week, man, you gotta go, you gotta go holler at one of the homies and be like, man, we gotta sit it down, man. We gotta sit it down. We gotta wrap this thing up, man. And when I wrap it up, I mean, I need one of the best, man. So salute, man. I got Law Nation in the building today, man. What's up with you, Law?
Man, I appreciate you, man. Look, let's get it, man, the best way possible, man. We live with it, man. I thank you for bringing me aboard. I can't even talk right now. Thank you for bringing me aboard, man. And we're going to get this show on the road, man. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Shoot, I heard that, man. Well, hey, man, you guys already know whenever West Coast goes live, there's two things you guys can do. First thing you must do is you must hit the share button, okay? I need every single person right now, no matter where you are right now. Listen to me. We all mad, right? We all upset, right? So this is what I need you to do. I need you to punch that share button. You punch it, boom, 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 boom. Like my son say, punch that share button, man. I need you to take your aggression out on that share button right now. Hit it, hit it, hit it. All right. Now, the next thing I need you guys to do is three things that you guys got to do whenever you watch content, and they all start with an S. You need to hit that share button. You need to hit that star button, and you need to hit that super chat button. Now, hey, what are stars and what are super chats? You guys already know what they are, man, but I'm going to let you know very quickly. It's simply a monetary way for you to support the content that you already love. You feel me? When you see Law Nation out here at these events, guess what? That's you. When you see your boy West Coast out here at Tampa Bay and at San Francisco, guess what? That was you. You feel me? We was all in the building together. You feel me? And how do you make that happen? By hitting that super chat button and by hitting that star button. You feel me? Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give everybody they love right now. Right. I'm about to go through here. If I see your name, I'm going to say what's up to you. When I say what's up to you, I need you to do one or two things. I need you to hit that share button. I need you to hit that star button, that super chat button. We about to run through it real quick. Hey, man, this is what you get for being on time. Let's get it. Ready? Richard, what's up with you, Richard? I see you, my boy. Jay Brian, I see you. Who else I got up in here on YouTube? I got a couple. Miss Rose, I see you, Miss Rose. My boy Dizzy, what's up with you, Dizzy? YHM, what's up with you? And Mike, I see you over there, man. I see a couple people that have already got here on time, and they already saying what's up with you to your boy West Coast. Law, you still working over there?
Man, I'm building the plane while it's in the air. It looks like we working, man. We look like we won't.
I heard that. Hey, man, you got Paul George and you got James Harden up here, man. We about to ride this thing. Hey, listen to me. It still ain't really, listen to me. It hasn't hit me that my season's over yet. You want to know why? Because I'm still not able to watch Laker games. Like, I'm still not able to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I know, oh my God, my season's over, when I can actually sit down and watch a full Laker game. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still kind of like, I'm still kind of going through it, man.
It's just what it is, man. That's exactly what it is, man. Yo, so let's get it going, man. I'm ready now. All
right, let's go, man. So, yo, man, hey, this is some content that you guys have been asking for. And listen to me, over here at West Coast Cowboy and over at Law Nation Sports, man, we believe at giving the people what they want. You feel me? So you want it? So, yeah, hey, you been looking for it? Well, here we is.
Yeah.
Here we is.
Let's go.
All right, so, yo, we go. Hey,
let's go.
Hey, listen to me. We're going to have one rule on my quarterback tonight. One rule. Y'all going to get 15 minutes. Y'all going to get 15 minutes. All right? 15 minutes of Dak Prescott. Now, I got a rule. After this 15 minutes, we're going to talk about something else. You want to know why? Because it's healthy.
Yeah.
That's healthy. Okay? Dak was not the only person that played. But we understand he deserved his conversation, just like my boy Mike with the $10 super chat, and just like Queen Chase with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Law Nation, we gonna give them 15 minutes. We might sell into 18. But after that, after we say we done, we done. Okay?
No doubt.
Release the Kraken. Okay, it's open now. The floor is open. Dak Prescott, we're going to say the obvious, did not play well on Sunday. He didn't play well.
No.
Another obvious, Dak Prescott as a player, as a body, as a quarterback. This was, if you go look at his season, this is going to be considered a down year, and it was. Okay, now, Law Nation, the biggest thing out there is, do you get rid of, listen to me, the money says you really can't get rid of him. Why? Because you got to eat $89 million this year if you release him, 53 if you trade him. But I'm just saying, money aside, let's just, because y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all want to live in a fantasy world. So let's jump in that fantasy world with you. Zero money, Law Nation. No negative ramification. Are we getting rid of your quarterback? Let me know.
Well, no. If it was even zero money.
Remember, there's no money.
Yeah.
Remember, there's no muchos dineros involved.
Yeah. There's no Robert De Niro in this, man.
No Robert De Niro.
I can say this, man. You continue to build around said quarterback, and you will say to yourself, what old scouts say, if you've seen it once, you can see it again. So how did we get to those good spots and graces? Well, first and foremost, put more and more weapons around him, develop and disguise a scheme for him. I would say Dak Prescott, I want him anywhere between 24 and 27 passing attempts. So how do we get to that sweet number? Run the ball. You've been preaching that. You've been saying run the ball. So let's get an offensive coordinator in the house that can put the ball in the belly of said running back and let Dak Prescott play off of play action. But the same results that you've seen this past game will be the results when you heavily leaning on Dak Prescott to throw the ball. But newsflash, that's most of the quarterbacks in the National Football League. You want to set up a system where you run so that your quarterback can feed off of that. There's only a few Pat Mahomes, but we don't even know if Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes. Without Andy Reid, we don't know.
Max. And it's like, I'm going to tell you this right here. It's like, I have a fear of starting over. I'm sorry. I definitely have a fear of starting over. You want to know why? Because historically, the Dallas Cowboys don't draft quarterbacks well.
They don't.
That's just real. Listen to me. Dak was considered a good, people say, yeah, we do. We drafted Dak. But listen to me. Who was after Dak? Troy Aikman. Yeah. Yeah. That's a huge gap. Imagine how many quarterbacks they drafted, how many quarterbacks they brought in here.
Right.
I have a huge, listen to me, and I have a huge fear of starting over when you lose in the second round of the playoffs, dog. Like, listen, fam, listen. I know we supposed to be, Dak bashing for the next 14 minutes. We got 14 minutes to go. But we as fans got to understand, Law, I know we didn't win the Super Bowl, man. I know it.
No,
I don't got a ring on my finger. I got one. But, bro, was the season really a failure? Like,
no.
Like, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, when you say before the season started that the Cowboys would not win over 6 games or 7 games, that they would be a team that not make the playoff, and then we win over that, the goalposts then moved, right? And then when they say even when we are going into the playoff, the Cowboys will be one and done, regardless of the level of the opposition, we'll be one and done. We win a playoff game, now the goalpost is picked up and moved back further. So now we go into a game. Granted, I wanted us to win that game, but I had on my show earlier today, was this team better than what they were last year? And the ultimate question was yes. Was this team better than what they were 10 years ago, 8 years ago? The ultimate question was yes. Why? Because we made it back-to-back playoff appearances, and we won one playoff game. So I look at it from that perspective. I get it. We want to be Super Bowl or bust. We can look at the talent and the skill set that we have on this team, and we want more. But the reality of it is that we accomplished majority of the goals that people said that we couldn't do.
Facts. And it's like, and I love talking about expectations. Appreciate you, my boy Tristan, with the 200 stars. And real quick, the reason why I don't have an N in the DAM of my caps to run the damn ball is because I'm a coach for a 6U program, and they don't allow any vulgarity, but run the damn ball is still our motto where we play. So right. It has to be suitable for children to wear. So I had someone asking why I don't put an N in there. But it's like, I preach expectations. I preach expectations, and it's like the expectations for this season were technically achieved. Like the thought of winning a Super Bowl every single year is not even realistic, right? Yeah. So Cowboys, we wake up every year with the mindset that we should what? Win the Super Bowl every year. So we're already trying to get something that is already been proven to be impossible, right? Yeah. So it's like at some point of this whole rabbit trail, this rabbit race that we're on in the NFL, you got to understand this word called growth. And that is, did your team, like, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I said all offseason, the only goal for the Dallas Cowboys, honestly, each year has to be one better than each year. And to be honest with you, you achieved that. And think about this, Law. Last year, you had your quarterback 16 games. There was a large portion of this season where you didn't even have your quarterback. Most teams don't bounce back. They don't achieve the things that we were able to achieve. Now, I know it is excuses. I'm telling you guys, this is an excuse. But I'm going to tell you guys what an excuse is also. An excuse is a fact that you won't accept. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Because everything that I'm telling you is factual.
Right.
I'm not making any of this up. You just don't want to accept it. And guess what? I feel it, Cowboys. I feel it. But guess what? Next year, Law, we have something that's even harder to do. Name me a time where the Dallas Cowboys have gone to the playoffs 3 years in a row.
Oh, yeah, that had to go. That had to be in the 90s, 92, 93, 94, 95. So that's 4 years in a row. So
the goals just get even harder. Like, it's never going to. Because think about this. Then even when you win a Super Bowl, then you know what the question is? Oh, yeah, but look at what teams happen the next year. You can't repeat.
Right. Now, hear me out now. I love to be on that side of the argument, by the way. I love to be on that side of the argument because now we can look back at this and say, all right, cool. At least we got one in this decade, right? So I get with what you said. The challenge of it should always be to be better than what you did the previous year. Now, our challenges is just as plain as possible. We want to win a Super Bowl every year, and which is very difficult, very difficult. But I get it. A lot of people look back at this team and they say, hey, based upon the previous historical data, this team is one and done, or this team can't get it done. But excuse me, how many years Mike McCarthy been here?
3.
3 years. He's been 2 out of the 3 years in the playoffs. Give him time. How many years did it took the great Tom Landry to win his first Super Bowl?
Shoot, I don't know.
Yeah. But in 30 years, he only won 2. Won 2. And I for dog sure knew that Jimmy Johnson didn't win his Super Bowl in his 3rd year, if we even look at Jimmy Johnson. So now we got to really contextualize all of this. And we have to say to the nation, are we within reason?
Yeah, and, the Cowboys also made some very, very, like we can all say that there was some stuff that happened that was outside of our control that we we couldn't control it. We can't control any injury. What's up, Sandra? Any injury gets a pass. But there are some self-inflicted wounds that we inflicted on ourselves that we had to overcome. Yeah. One, I don't know, Amari Cooper, maybe. I don't know. Like, think about this. Like, it literally took till what? T.Y. Hilton. Like, it took you were talking about finding something to get another receiver all season, almost to the point where you took Odell Beckham Jr., wined and dined him. Mm-hmm. That didn't pan out. Why? Because he didn't want to work out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like there was a lot of self-inflicted things that we did. Also, I'm going to tell you a self-inflicted wound. Now, when I say this, the chat's going to go crazy because I know y'all love them. But LVE was a self-inflicted wound. You want to know why? Because he did not start playing good until like the Giants game. So we had to work through all that. 202 rushing yards, Green Bay. 240 yards, freaking Chicago. Then Daniel Jones hit us. Then Daniel Jones hit us for like 7 carries for like 65, 75 yards. Yeah. We had to grow through all those self-inflicted pains. And I'm going to tell you, like, I love my organization. I absolutely love the Dallas Cowboys, right? Players. Like players, right? Uh-huh. But we all have to also understand that a lot of times this organization, as in the management, they don't help, their decisions don't really help the players in what they're trying to do. Because moving a lot of things we did in the offseason, it affected this team. And then guess what? The coaches, the players have to go through that and play through that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we're a different team. I think this team was, I mean, imagine this, man. There was a time where we really thought that Noah Brown was the best receiver on our team, and Dennis Houston was literally a starting receiver for the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. And the guy you drafted was sitting on the bench. His name is Jalen Tolbert. And we were still waiting for James. Say it with me, everybody. Washington. We were still waiting for him. And we was out there in Oxnard saying, hey, he was hurt. People fail to realize he was hurt before he got to Oxnard. And then when he got to Oxnard, he got hurt again. If anybody can see the tea leaves on the tray, should have been the Jones family and said, let's go pick up a phone and call a wide receiver now. But what happened here is they have been, they say, this right here is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. The Cowboys didn't do that, ladies and gentlemen. They were not prepared for the moment. They were not ready. So Dennis Houston, the undrafted rookie, was out there week 1 and with the expectations for this particular team to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The Super Bowl.
Yep.
That was the expectation. And somebody gonna sell to us, hey, we supposed to be able to win the Super Bowl with the trough of talent that we have. That's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like this season. If I had to sum this season up in one word, is just overcome. Like, bruh, like this was just a season of just overcoming. Like, what is it next? Like, it started off with Kelvin Joseph and his blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then you also had a season where it was like, almost every major decision that you'd made just came back to burn you in the butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to get Kelvin Joseph out there. We're going to give him some opportunities. Okay, we're going to give him here. Oh, now we have the perfect opportunity to play him. Why? Because Anthony Brown just went down. Oh, let's throw him out there. 2 touchdowns later. Like two touchdowns later. Like, it was like literally like the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, were just everything was just about overcoming. Like you had to overcome losing Dak. Because, like, listen to me. When Dak went down, a small person inside of me said, well, it's a wrap from here.
But this is how I got to break this down, West Coast.
Go ahead.
You do things to complement, your team. Just like you run the ball, you play complementary football, you run the ball to help out your defense. Well, you also draft players to complement the style and scheme that you run. Like, there's not been a team to win a Super Bowl that primarily play only big nickel. We play a lot of big nickel. We play a lot of foreign football, hybrid style football. We're not a 3-4 team. We are a 4-3 team, but we converted into a 3-4 team with big nickel because we got players that don't match. LVE, when you look up his scouting report, everything streams at people saying that he will play better with clean pad levels, right? With a big front up front. He is a rangy cover linebacker. He's not a thumper. Well, those type of linebackers relish in a 3-4 scheme. Even if we look at Parsons, who's now being converted to an edge guy. To put him in the likes of Von Miller, the other guys that played this game like Khalil Mack, they primarily play in 3-4 systems, just like the T.J. Watts. But we are in a 4-3 system, even with Michael Parsons, and expecting him to do what Joey Bosa's of the world and Nick Bosa of the world do, which would be a far reach or far stretch for his size and his skill set. Break it down for me, man.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell y'all this right here. I love me some Dan Quinn. Let me say that first and foremost. I love me some Dan Quinn. You think I should say it 3 times? Because I feel
say it one more time.
I feel like after I start talking about Dan Quinn, y'all gonna be like, man, Dan Quinn. West Coast just a hater. He don't like Dan Quinn. So let me say this one more time. I love me some Dan Quinn. But I do have some things I think Dan Quinn needs to change.
Yeah.
Like, 1, Dan Quinn, what you can't do needs to dictate what you can do.
There we
right?
go.
If Big Mama only got $50 in her purse, we can't go to Piccadilly down there and get $60 worth of food.
Right.
Because we got that. Right? West Coast, what you talking about? If your ass can't stop the run, I'm sorry, that slipped. If you can't stop the run with your front four, your ass can't play big nickel, bruh.
Big
What
facts.
are you talking about, bruh? What is you talking about? That is Big Mama going to the store with $50 in her purse at the 99-cent store and getting 62 items. She should know she gonna be $14 over.
Right.
Bruh, if you cannot stop the run with the guys who are getting paid to stop the run, like that's their job to stop the run. Listen to me. You're 6'6". You're 350 pounds. God put you on earth for two things: stop the run or protect someone who's like 4'3" worth $1 billion. That's your job, bruh. That's your job, bruh. Like, don't get mad at me. That's what you're on earth for. If you're not doing it, bro, how in the hell are you going to ask God? Then think about this, Law. In the common language of in the common way of football, guys get smaller as they get further from the football.
There you go.
The D line is 3-something. Linebackers are 2-something. Cornerbacks are 10 pounds bigger than West Coast in Law. You know what I'm saying? Smaller beard, though. Smaller beard. They got it. You know what I'm saying? J-Ron Curse. Now, listen, think about this. These guys are now. I'm gonna tell you where they get around these guys at.
Talk to me, man.
They be like, oh, but he's 6'4", 275. That's not. Appreciate you. Thank you, my boy Love Week. That's not small. Listen to me. That is small. You want to know why? Because how big is a guard, bruh? You got to remember, when Donovan Wilson is in the box, he's dealing with guards and tackles. There's a huge weight limit difference. And think about this. To prove it, I said this at the beginning of the season. I said, because my boy, one of my real good friends is Sharif Wright. Sharif is a safety. He played, he made a lot of money in the NFL. Played for Buffalo, played for the Ravens, right? He coaches my kids. And after the first game of the season, he said this. He said, West Coast. He real talking smooth. He said, West Coast. He said, man, is your linebacker hurt or something? I say, nah, that's our. He said, you got all them safeties out there. Yeah. I said, yeah. I said, that's our defense.
That's our defense.
He said, man, I ain't even gonna lie, man. I had to talk to my agent about that. Because man, when you are a safety up there playing linebacker, dealing with guards, why do you think Donovan Wilson stayed dinged up? Why do you think J-Ron Curse stayed dinged up? Why do you think Malik Hooker stayed dinged up? Because brother, like 50 pounds smaller than than everything that's coming to them.
Yeah.
Everything.
And that goes to this right here. Ooh, you preaching now, man. You preaching. Here's what that goes to. That's why it's imperative for the Cowboys to play with the lead. Notice when we jump up on teams and we've got the lead, then the teams abandon the run. We can swarm, rally, hit, and chase and get to the opposition. And that's why we have mismatched situations, even as it relates to the scheme that we run on defense. Why, Law? Well, is Diggs a press cover corner? Just give me a yes or no. Wes.
Yes.
Is he a press? Is he press? Are you trust him on press? Do you trust him in press, or do you trust him more in zone?
Dan Quinn trusts him. I've seen him press in Alabama. Now, I'm going to keep it real. Do I think he can do it? Yes. But they typically trip. His ball hawk abilities, I want him searching for the ball.
You want him searching for the ball. All right, so.
I have a forgiving heart better than most fans.
Yeah. So when we had Anthony Brown, is he a press cover corner or a zone corner? Is he a press zone? Is he better in press or is he better in zone?
Me personally, I think he's better than press. I think this is my reason. This is my reason for it, though. This is my reason for it. I like the reason why is because I've seen Dan Quinn. He likes to do a lot of mixed coverage, right? Where he'll press on one side and then he'll run zone on the other side. Like he typically won't have them in the same thing. And to keep it real, that's why a lot of people listen. I love Anthony Brown, but I'm gonna keep it real. Anthony Brown had his moments. But this is not an excuse. This is just the reason why he had his moments. Yeah. Okay? It's not an excuse. This is the reason why he had his moments. All right. Now, what Dan Quinn, with his defense, what he likes to show is he likes to show press on this side, and he likes to show off on this side. The reason being is because he typically will bring the pass rush from the opposite side. Now, the reason being is when a quarterback's dropping back and you instantly see that corner, that Anthony Brown in that face,
right.
What are most corners going to do? I mean, what quarterbacks are going to do? They're going to look it off and they're going to go to their second option, right? Now, your second option is who? Trevon Diggs.
Right?
Yeah. Now, Diggs is playing trail technique. He's showing that he's what? Wide open. Right, so to the quarterback, it's easy. Yeah. Exactly. He's trying to bait you into a throw. That's what they did at the beginning of the season. Couldn't do it when Anthony Brown went out, though.
Right. Well, let me ask you this in another way, then. Brandon Browner, for the Seattle Seahawks back in the Legion of Boom era, he was more of a press guy, right? You didn't want him in zone, right?
Absolutely not.
And Richard Sherman, he was more of a press guy. You didn't want him in zone, right? All right, so that's what I was trying to get at, that when Dan Quinn defense did flourish, it was mostly with their DBs just press, not giving you an inch or any slither of hope to get off the LOS because the front seven was so good. Earl Thomas would sit on the roof. Cam, he was down inside. He was playing what Donovan Wilson is doing. He was playing what J-Ron Curse is doing. And we all know that Cam, J-Ron Curse, and Donovan Wilson is a different hit the way J-Ron Curse hit versus Cam hitting. That's just how it is. Cam Chancellor, for those who don't know. So that's what makes the Legion of Boom such a lethal weapon, because Bobby Wagner was the guy that got hooked to flat. He wasn't like LVE or what have you. He had more range. He had more width about him. And they had a big boy down inside called Big Maybank. Cliff Averill and Bennett. So those guys attacked, and they didn't have to get all of that hybrid look into the facts because they had legitimate Bruce Irvin and all of those boys. They had legitimate linebackers. One can argue they're more on the 3-4 end of things versus a 4-3 or any of those big nickel looks. So what I'm trying to say is with Dan Quinn, I don't think that we have enough time to develop this team on the defensive side, especially by him interviewing 3 or 4 jobs from here, you know what I'm saying, with a strong philosophy to keep him. So the Cowboys are in trouble in that light because of the fact that we've been makeshifting this defense around. But all the defense did play good in this.
And I'm going to tell you this, Lord, like, I also think that Dan Quinn in the back of his mind is like, bro, I don't even have, like, you got, y'all, I love my grandma, so I use her as an example.
Yeah.
But, like, Dan Quinn has been Big Mama in this for a long time, bro.
He did.
Like, you know how Big Mama, you be in the kitchen, you be like, Big Mama, what? You ain't got no more sugar? We ain't got no more sugar? No, Big Mama, we ain't got no more sugar. How we gonna make the cake? Big Mama go in there and about, you don't know what she put in that cake, but it tastes exactly the same way when you eat it, right?
Right.
Listen to me. Dan Quinn, Big Mama, this defense, bro. Like, I know we have all these names, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. But we really don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what you have? You have a bunch of kids on young rookie contracts. So you know what that means? Inexperience. That means a lot of penalties. And then you have older vets who are what? Trying to prove themselves and try to get in a final deal before they get out the league. Who? Malik Hooker, Dante Fowler. Like, we don't really focus on getting like prime defensive players in their prime. And guess what? If they are in their prime, they're because we drafted them. You know what I'm saying? Because we drafted them. Yeah. But we're not in the business of doing that. So it's like, if I'm Dan Quinn, I'm like, how much longer can I Big Mama this before I start looking like, damn, man, what's up with that defense, bro? What's up with that defense? Because Jerry Jones has already showed us that what you get is what you get. Like, think about this. We had major injuries to the cornerback. We lost 2 cornerbacks, bro. 2.
You did, yeah.
Dan Quinn, you're saying this. I lost 2 cornerbacks this year.
We did.
You gave me Xavier Rhodes 2 weeks before the playoffs started.
Make it work, baby.
If that ain't Big Mama, I don't know what that is.
Hey, Wes, man, steer me back over to the offense, man. Somehow get back on the offense for me, man.
Okay, so, man, hey, I know. I'm going to tell y'all this right now, man. I had a very interesting conversation, man, and he don't mind if I talk to y'all, tell y'all about it, but, man, I have a real good conversation with Mr. Stacey Elliott, and that's Zeke's pops, man, and, you know, I feel he said something that was just very, very important to me, and I was already asking the same question, like, you know, there's supposed to be this comment about Ezekiel Elliott taking less money. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you if anybody live right now can send me to westcoastcowboy@gmail.com that interview, I got a free run the damn ball hat for you. I might even throw you $50 too. Because as of right now, I myself nor his dad have seen an interview where Ezekiel Elliott said out of his mouth that he's willing to take less money. That's all I'm saying. Now I know that a lot of people have made that assumption. You know what I'm saying? Has made that assumption, but man, I think it's crazy. That fans are automatically saying that. Now, what do I think is going to happen with Zeke? I know some of y'all going to be mad because I know y'all already kind of washed up with him, but listen to me. If we do what the fans say, if we do what y'all want to do, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have a running back right now. Because as much as I would love to sign Tony Pollard, all I'm going to say is this. Michael Gallup. But see,
oh my gosh, Wes. Oh my God. You just hit, you know what you did?
Because see, Cowboy fans, I'm gonna tell you
the Cowboys are smart. So you talk to the father, right? Stacey Elliott.
Listen to me.
You talk to the father. Now the father know where the money is at. Oh, don't you know what you just said?
Listen to me.
Don't you know what you just said, bro?
Listen to me, Law. Listen to me. The Dallas Cowboys, one thing I will always tell you about the Cowboys is they learn, like, injuries affect them, especially on contracts. Now, I'm going to tell you this right here. If you're not thinking that Zeke's contract has to do something with Tony Pollard's, then you're crazy. Because the Dallas Cowboys said a long time, Jerry Jones said, we go as far as Zeke take us, right? Now, obviously, playoffs, run game wasn't there. Not even that it wasn't there. We didn't even attempt to try to do it. He only had 10 carries. And think about this. When Tony Pollard went out of the game, he only had 4 carries. We did not go into this game with the mindset of running the ball. Think about this. When Tony Pollard got hurt, anybody want to guess how many carries Malik Davis got? 0. So you know what that means? There was never a mindset to run the damn ball, or at least the backup guy. Because think about this. If you were going to run the ball coming into this game, why didn't Malik Davis at least get Tony Pollard's carries that he was supposed to get?
Man, my goodness, man.
I'm just asking that question.
Hey, before this slip, I got to say this before I lose my point about the whole situation and about Stacey Elliott saying that Zeke never talked about taking less money.
No, this is the thing. Like,
although it's been reported on the 4-letter and 3-letter network, but here's my thoughts on it, West Coast.
Go ahead.
The Cowboys are very wise on how they negotiate players' money, and they do negotiate it via the media.
Thank you for going there.
And the reason why I said that, because last year we was in the same hole. The Cowboys with La'el Collins, they wanted to kick him back at guard, meaning that they wanted him also to take less money because they wanted to elevate Terrence Steele at that right tackle.
Yep.
By him ultimately not doing such, they said, you know what, we're going to do you a solid. We're going to cut you before. We're going to make it a designated post-June. Was it June 1 cut?
Yep.
If Ezekiel Elliott refuses to take less money, he's going to be painted as a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it reflects upon his contract and his production, they're going to leverage this with, hey, we can't pay Tony in you.
And
so somebody got to be the villain. And you can be here. I think I watched one of those comic movies. They said sometimes you can be the hero so long that you become the villain.
Facts. And you know the crazy thing about it is this too. The reason why I brought up Michael Gallup is this, man. Like, you know, Michael Gallup is like contractually in kind of like the same situation as Tony Pollard, but then there's one thing that makes it very, very different between the two of them. And I'm gonna tell you what it is.
What is that?
RBWR. Like, WRs get way more lifespan.
Yeah.
Like, I know a 33-year-old WR that's running routes right now. Matter of fact, you know a 33-year-old
lifespan.
WR.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? WR that's running route right now. 3rd and 30 if you don't know what I mean. You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't know no 33-year-old running backs. You know what I'm saying? Not a one. I barely know 30-year-old running backs.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
we had one, but he was freakishly athletic, man. We talking about the guy that just retired. I forgot his name, just the tip of my tongue, man. He played for the
Peterson.
49ers. Yo, but
Adrian Peterson ran forever.
He went forever, and the other guy, he used to play for the Frank Gore.
Oh, Frank Gore.
Yeah,
Frank Gore.
Gore was like 50 years old. He about to get Emmett record. We're like, go ahead, retire, Gore.
Yeah, but it's like, but you got to think like this: like the running back position already is like it's already hard trying to get paid as a running back. Like it's already like think about this: like they don't even know what's going to happen with Saquon Barkley, and we know that Tony Pollard doesn't have the accolades as a Saquon Barkley, who is a real running back. Yeah. So it's like if you're the Dallas Cowboys, when it comes to Tony Pollard, the question's been, do you franchise tag him? I'm going to be honest with you. There's no way I can franchise tag a guy who I don't know is going to play guaranteed 17 games. That is literally throwing money away. Like, that makes no sense.
But we do sign guys based off of feelings. We do pay guys after they get hurt.
Listen to me, Law.
You got to do it for Terrence Steele? Do you think Terrence Steele going to be the same?
No, but listen, Law, this is what I'm saying. I'll give him a contract. I'm just not franchise tagging him. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. The only way I sign Tony Pollard is if he signs like a 3 to 4 year deal. You want to know why? Because his first year is going to be a blank year. Right, it's going to be a blank year. I got to give him the same look because guess what? If that's not the case, listen, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Michael Gallup made $11 million for 500 yards, less than 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. Theoretically, we should be talking about what and getting him up out of here. Yeah. But we're not. You want to know why? Because psychologically, we all know that this was a down year for him. It was expected. You got to build that in with Tony Pollard. If I put him on a franchise tag, I don't give a damn what's wrong with your Achilles, your thigh leg, your muscle leg. Your ass better get out there, and I need my yards. Why? Because I'm paying you regardless. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I said I will do a contract for Tony Pollard, but it has to be 3 to 4 years because I know that this year, like honestly, Law, what is my expectations? Think about this, family. The last player that's an explosive player like this, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but this is facts. Go look at Dez Bryant 2015 when he broke his.
He came back.
Yes, he came back. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Bro, Dez was never the same.
But let me tell you this, though, about Dez, and I think that the organization did him dirty and wrong. They fought him tooth and nail. They said that he wasn't about this, he wasn't about that as far as his money. And remember, he wasn't able to practice with the facility and everything. And then the moment they finally paid the man, he goes out there without a whole heap of training camp, and we get those soft tissue issues. And then they had to end up first game giving him IV. Eventually something was going to break. Man, you got cars, man. You fool around and don't, even if the car's 6 or 7 years old, you're supposed to at least turn it on and leave it running for a while. But if you start pressing on it too fast, something bound to break, you know? So I think that all of the Cowboy players, outside of, I believe, Jason Witten, who else didn't have to fight for their contract?
Shoot, everybody. I mean,
maybe Jalen Smith, he didn't probably have to fight too much for it.
Jalen, they
gave Jalen, they paid Jalen Smith in spite of, I believe. I think they paid Jalen because, they was like, okay, Zeke. Did they pay Jalen before Zeke?
This is the thing. Jalen Smith was going to be this was after his Pro Bowl season too.
Right,
so,
right.
They got Jalen on the deals. At that time, it was considered a deal because he was a restricted free agent. Now, you guys know I'm cool with Jalen, and he even knows this, that I thought that he shouldn't have signed that contract. I felt that he should have went to free agent and tested the market because, like, if another team wants to pay you, you should make the Dallas Cowboys come pay you more. And guess what? They ended up releasing you 2 years anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
right. they end up eating $6.9 million. Yeah. That's foolish contract writing. You gonna eat $6.9 million?
Yeah, so,
I mean that's foolishness. But it goes to show you that the Cowboys, the way they handle some of these things, like we've been good. Will McClay been like Big Mama. Since you mentioned Big Mama, Will McClay been Big Mama for the Cowboys during the off season, finding players and stuff like that. But overall, man, we've been shooting ourselves with these contracts.
We have been, and at the same time too, it's like you said something that was really dope that you said, and it's like these players hold out, and then they're not with their team, they're not with their players, and then they go in, and these freak injuries happen, and they're freakish because their normal processes is knocked off. And it's like, to me, as a father, I look back and I be like, that's on the organization. Because as an organization, I have to look at myself and say, hey, is this contract negotiation worth, fighting all this da-da-da-da-da? Then we don't get a deal done, and that goes on to training camp. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like the Cowboys, like, I love the way other organizations do contracts. Like, if I'm gonna sign you, we're gonna sign you, bloop, you're done.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes got signed for $500 million, but the day before it
and
happened,
nobody knew it.
the day before it happened, we're all sitting up here eating chips, just minding our own business, bro.
We're like,
nobody knew it, bro.
Right. We're like, hey, man, this boy got paid. God dog, man.
$500 million, bro, and nobody knew about it, bro. Like, that's what I wish. That's like, there's one of my favorite quotes in the Bible. It says, "Let your no's be no's, let your yeses be yes." And it's like they play it out through the media, which drags it out.
My
and it's
gosh.
like, bruh, like Cowboys, if you're like, I would wish they just have a meeting. We're gonna sign him. We're not gonna sign him. We're gonna sign him. We're gonna sign, and then execute.
Execute it. Don't tell a soul, but you know how it goes, Wes, man. It's always something, man. It's always something. It's just like this. Breaking news, the Cowboys are thinking of letting Terrence Steele test the market before signing him. The reason being is because he refused to take the discount. Oh, we got more breaking news. Tony Pollard will be now put on the franchise tag. We live off of that sensationalism, and we don't even know how much of a danger this does to the psyche of the players, the mindset of the players, and beyond. It's crazy. So let me ask you this then, fam. And I'm gonna pull up this list right quick. Let me pull up the list. Do you pay Tony Pollard? Do you pay T.Y. Hilton? Do you pay Jonathan Hankins? Do you pay Donovan Wilson? Do you pay, who else I'm leaving out? LVE. Do you pay Dalton Schultz? Who do you pay out of this list?
Go through. Say one name. I'm gonna give you.
Or do you pay Anthony Brown? He was a contract year for him.
Anthony Brown.
You pay him.
Am I paying Anthony Brown? I'm going to be honest with you. I might actually end up paying Anthony Brown. You want to know why? Because for his talent level and where he got injured, he's for sure going to be ready for training camp. And it's like, I feel like I can negotiate a very good deal for him, and it would be cheap considering he's going to be a starting cornerback in the NFL. Now, Anthony Brown doesn't stop me from doing anything else because he's probably one of the cheapest starting cornerbacks in football. You know what I'm saying? So and his injury was so early. So it's like, would I put him on something worth like $3 million, $4 million? I would. You
would give Anthony Brown LVE's type of contract what he did this year, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What about Connor McGovern, the swing guard? Do you pay him? He only allowed 2 sacks this season and had one penalty.
I'm going to play Connor McGovern because of the word that I hate that they always use, versatility.
Yeah, versatility.
I'm going to pay him for versatility just because, like, he played tackle for you, played guard for you. If I'm not mistaken, he even played center a game.
And he fullback too, yeah.
And Zeke played Zeke played center too this year one time.
Yeah.
In a playoff game, actually. Go figure. In a playoff game, he actually played center. So I'm gonna bring him back. The reason also too is like some of these guys, I get it. You don't like where they are right now, but the hope is that they get better each year. So we're not. Like, just like you get better each year at your job, like everybody gets a little bit better every year that they do it longer. The hope is that that some of these guys get better. You know what I'm saying? Because you just can't, the salary cap prevents you from just cutting everybody and going get all the good players. Guess what? Everybody wants all the good players. You know what I'm saying? You got to make deals with some of these players that are just kind of good and just kind of trust and just hope that they get better. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man.
Connor McGovern's a guy that I'm gonna pay like he's playing right now, but I'm gonna hope that he gets better. And he's a starting offensive lineman in the NFL because he starts on your team. Go ahead.
I got a super chat from Mark Hutchinson. He says, it's going to take Pollard 2 years to become himself again. No running back is worth 12.5. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's gonna take him 2 years, but I definitely think it's going to take him. Listen to me. This is an epiphany. If Tony, listen, are you guys? Because this is from God. There's a question y'all need to ask Tony Pollard about Tony Pollard.
Okay.
Because if you're asking that Tony Pollard is going to be the starting running back, that means he is the guy. Yes, it might take him 2 years. You want to know why?
Right.
Because Tony Pollard can't pass block right now, healthy.
Jeez.
If he's going to be a starting running back, that means he's going to basically be what Zeke was 3 years ago. That means he needs to do everything that Zeke did 3 years ago. Because you got to remember, if you pay Tony, that means Zeke is not on this team. That means a smaller Tony Pollard has to do something that Zeke tore his PCL doing last year. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think like this. I don't know if Tony Pollard even wants to do that. Like, if I'm Tony Pollard, why do I want to put that wear and tear on my body? I'm coming off of I want to be in a two-back system. So it's like, and think about this. If you are going to be in a two-back system, then Dallas Cowboys, you're going to get rid of Zeke, and then who's going to be the running back? I love Malik Davis, but don't you dare say Malik Davis. Don't you dare say Malik Davis.
Yeah, it's one of those things, bro. Whereas when we look back at this, fam, the Cowboys, all directions got to point at the fact that they got to draft a running back in this draft, and they got to go early. So with that being said, it's going to be Bijan Robinson. It's going to have to be the kid from Alabama, Gibbs. It's going to have to be one of those guys. Blake from Michigan or Bixby from Auburn. It's going to have to be one of those running backs that's going to step in and face the gauntlet, because we are in the era of running backs' average lifespan. I did this earlier. It's 3 years. And if you're an elite running back, you can probably get 6 or 7 years before you start falling off. And if you just a good to great running back, that's 4.5, you know? And then after that, if you just an average running back without a good offensive line, shoot, you're going to hit that 3-year marker, and then it's time to kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell y'all this. I know y'all don't really want to hear this, but I will say this, and this is very, very true, very, very, very true. It is easier to replace Tony Pollard than it is Ezekiel Elliott. Just being real.
Break it down, bro. You got to break it down like a 9-0 fraction. You know?
To break it down like a 9-0 is like this, right?
Okay,
there's aspects of Zeke's game that we're not equating, right? Like, the pass blocking is for real. You want to know why? Because in a live or die game, your quarterback threw the ball 37 times. So there's no way that you can minimize. There's no way that you can minimize what Zeke does in the passing game, because your team wants to pass the ball a lot, right? Then you got to think like this. You're looking for an explosive running back, an explosive guy. I'm sorry, there are plenty of guys that are explosive coming into the draft right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say this right now. Unfortunately, in offenses, there are a ton of Tony Pollards. Like, there's a ton. You got San Francisco got one.
Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, I had a guy that paint me into a corner to say, hey, man, Elijah Mitchell is our version of Tony Pollard, you know, for the 49ers. But when I look at these two teams that's coming from the NFC, they have no problem running the ball because of their scheme. And they running backs all mirror each other on the Eagles side. When I look at Gainwell, or when I look at Boston Scott, or when I look at Sanders Kid, all of those guys are pretty much quick pace. They kind of have similar but different traits, but they have the same philosophy. So there's no dump off. There's no drop off. So when I look at Zeke's game, and when I look at Tony Pollard game, two different games. I look at Davis' game, and I look at Tony Pollard game, two different games. So we got three different situations there, and we didn't even give Malik Davis a chance to touch the ball. But when I looked at the Giants versus the Eagles, all three of their running backs had a chance to run the ball. Well, you can argue that all four of their running backs, because Jalen Hurts, he was running the ball. So I ain't no shade at Jalen, but he keeps the defense honest. He keeps the defense honest because they run the damn ball, like you said. And when I look at the Niners now, they got a traditional set with the fullback, who is their burly blocking guy, right? Blocky guy, who they ain't afraid to send on motions or what have you. But they look at Elijah Mitchell, who is a poor man's runner of CMC, right? So all of those things, it works comfortable for their system. Whereas the Cowboys, they didn't know how to use Zeke. They didn't know how to use Tony Pollard. You pick up Zeke and Tony Pollard and you put them on the Niners, people would have been saying, hey, it's unfair. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you I'm also gonna tell you like this too. It's also about think about this. You guys love how much we love Tony Pollard, bruh. Y'all only seeing 50% of Tony Pollard, bruh. Tony Pollard had 3 games this year where he only got 4 targets in the passing game.
4.
Like there's so much that's why I'm saying I love I'm actually scared to pay Tony Pollard off the simple fact that if Kellen Moore is here, he's gonna get paid and he's gonna get underused. That's just what it is. I'm okay. I'm at the point now, because I want to have this conversation, that it's before you touch anything on this offense, anything, before you draft anybody, before I resign anybody, before I do anything, I need to talk to that goofy looking dude with the clipboard in his hand. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Everything that we do offensively is going to depend on if he's here or not. Because listen to me. We just keep on, listen to me. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm sitting up here why would I draft Bijan Robinson? Why? For 10 carries?
Right.
Why would I use the 27th overall pick for 10 carries? That makes no sense. And I'm going to tell you this right now. That's why if I'm Jerry Jones and I'm in the same exact situation, you know who's going to get a first-round pick? Dan Quinn. You want to know why? Because he uses them.
Well, hold on. He used them. He used them, but go ahead.
I'm on my soapbox because I'm talking to Kellen now. Bro, I gave you the 88th pick in the draft, and you know what he did in the playoffs? He took his luggage to the bus. He got on the bus, and we didn't see him again. Bro, the fact that you couldn't even get Jalen Tolbert a target.
A target, bro, man, off of principles, man.
I don't trust you with anything, bro. Why would I keep giving you assets, bro, and you're not using them? Even Michael Gallup got 500 yards in his rookie season.
Man,
Bro, you tell me you couldn't get
spit
Jalen
too much
Tolbert?
truth.
Bro, you couldn't get an 88th pick in the draft who is a wide receiver. And think about this. You needed wide receivers this year.
Look, bro, you spit so much facts over here, man. It's making my teeth white over here, making my beard grow, bro. Look, let me say this, too. You got a guy that runs a 4.29. And you don't even know how to put him on a sweep. You don't know how to put him on an end around. What you worried he gonna get crumbled up? He's a 14. You know what? I truly believe, bro, if we can go have a time machine and we can get Bullet Bob, you know what I'm saying? You know who he is, right? He's one of the
Bob
world.
Hayes, come on now.
Yeah. I know you know. We can have him on the team. And they would literally say, yeah, you know what, he's too small. He may not catch the ball. We just going to use him only in one facet. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to use our weapons, man.
No, we don't. And that's why I'm be honest with you, I would be scared to just keep giving.
Yeah.
I'm scared. That's why, honestly, that's why I was so okay, y'all want let's bring in Odell. Think about this. Think about this, family. Think about this, Law.
Yeah.
All right, imagine how OBJ is in prime OBJ fashion. I'm talking about earrings, gold hair, matching glove, Richard Mill in his hand. Richard Mill matching the color of the team he's playing, right?
Right.
He out here. He out here, man. I'm out here. Let's go get it. Yeah. 49ers, I'm here. I'm ready to go. Let's go. I get one target. Odell Beckham's cussing everybody out right now. Bro, imagine if Odell Beckham was T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, my God.
And got one target, bro. One target.
Look, Odell wouldn't have had that one. You know that play
He would
Dak?
have Antonio Browned it, bro.
You know that play Dak had that blitz in his face, and then he dropped back, and Fred Warner made a good play on it. But it was CD, but T.Y. was wide open.
Yeah.
If that was Odell, ooh.
He would have blew up.
He would have blew up on the field right there.
Right then.
Right there. Yes, it did. It would have been. But let me say this, though. Let me say this with Dak Prescott. I know that a lot of people think that, we've been apologists for Dak Prescott. But no. He got to play better. But we got to see Dak Prescott with a real offensive coordinator. See, just like you, man. Wes, you still there?
I'm here.
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
You and I are considered peer-to-peer, right?
Yes, sir.
We buddies, man. So if we fool around, you hit like a good deal and you got a lick at a studio and you say, I'm going to bring my boys on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm only going to challenge you to a level that's equal. I'm not finna chastise you any more or any less because I'm going to look at you, man. We started this thing together.
Next.
I'm not going to respect you, and I respect you, but I'm not going to respect you enough to the degree whereas I would take your advice and apply it if we started out together. That's how I look at the relationship with Kellen Moore to Dak Prescott. It's a peer-to-peer situation. So when Dak Prescott make a mistake, there's no spitting. Mm-hmm. From the offensive coordinator to Dak saying, man, why in the hell you threw that ball there? You know what I'm saying? Or why you didn't change out this play? Or there's no contrast with it. It's all love and hey, man, I get him next time. Oh, shucks. And that's what you and I would be doing. Like, oh, shucks, man. I told you to have that, man. All right, bro, you get it next time, right? And you say, yeah, man, I got you. My bad. It'll be all this. My bad. Oh, yeah, my bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, this is something else, too. Like, you lost to the same team the same exact way. Like, Dak Prescott has lost – every one of his playoff games has been to the same teams in the same division. He lost to the Rams. He lost to the 49ers, man. I'm going to tell you the one thing about the Rams and the 49ers in their division is they play the run very well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they are going to run the ball. Think about this. The one year that Dak did win the playoffs and we went with Seattle, guess who was the #1 rushing team in football? The Seattle Seahawks. We were able to stop the run versus Seattle when they came in, helping us to get to the next round. But even then, we were down. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell y'all this, man. Like, I always hear this, Dak can't read defenses. Dak can't read defenses. Guess what, man? First off, there ain't really no reading defenses in football. Like, at this level of the game, like, and I know I'm saying something. Oh my God, what are you talking about? There's not. Yeah. I'm gonna break a little secret to you guys.
Break it out.
They're not standing out there. You know what they're doing? You know what they have in their head? They have a voice in their head that is talking to them all the way up into the 5-second mark. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. That's called what? Your offensive coordinator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily reading a defense. You know what they're doing? They're executing the plays. They're running 1 play, 2 play. And I'm going to tell you this right here. If you are consistently putting on film that on short situations you are running curls, can I ask you guys a question? If I'm a cornerback, what am I going to do? Can I ask you guys also a question? Uh-huh. When Michael Gallup broke on that route, whether it be Michael Gallup's fault or nobody's fault, can I ask you a question? Why didn't the cornerback open his hips and at least play the wide receiver? Like, I think everybody's getting caught up in this, oh, it was Michael Gallup's fault. No, it was Dak's fault. I want to know, why the hell didn't the cornerback play true to the position and open his hips and follow Michael Gallup? Why did the cornerback, as soon as he saw Michael Gallup drop his hips, why did he V-turn and go straight to the football? Man. You want to know why? Man. Because somebody was paying attention in film school. That's why. That Tuesday when they was looking at the Dallas Cowboys, and they were saying, yeah, you see how they consistently run these back curls, even when he shades off, what does it do? Especially, and I'm going to tell you something else. This is awesome. Hey, listen to me. They have different levels of things, right? You have basic level, then you got that elite level. This is that high, this is that premium Cowboy talk. So this might go over a couple people's head. If it go over your head, just it's all good. Just say Dak was at fault. That's the best thing y'all can do. Just say, whenever you don't understand something, just blame it on Dak. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been working for us this well, right?
Man, preach it, man.
So I say this, right? I look at the film and I'm like, okay, why did that cornerback feel so confident to take his eyes off a freaking receiver moving?
Yo.
Why? Why was he so confident? You want to know why? Because he saw it on film, bruh. Like, he 100% saw it on film. Because even, think about this, worst case scenario, if the wide receiver is playing true to what the wide receiver is doing, you know what happens? The ball goes out of bounds.
Oh, my gosh.
It goes right behind him.
Man, you spitting out. You spitting.
Because think about this, Law. If you don't, think about this, Law, because if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Right.
If you know, you know. If the cornerback doesn't know the route, if he doesn't understand what he's trying to do right now, you know what he has to do? He has to open his hips. You want to know why? Because we're trying to go downfield.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Michael Gallup was 3 feet away from him. The cornerback played as soon as he saw Michael Gallup break, as soon as he come off the line to do his breakdown to show that he was about to curl, the corner was like, up, here it comes.
Off man. And
off man.
If it wasn't, Michael Gallup started off his release high. You got to get down in the crawl space, and you got to attack that inside hip, inside shoulder, and you got to sell that you running the 9, right? Yes. That dude sat on that route the entire time. And if it was a slow go, or if it was just a plain 9, and that DB did that should have been a tub. That should have been tub all the way. No DB played it. No DB played that way. But they played that the way that DB, when he turned his hips inside, he had to been watching the film and know that they're finna do that curl.
Yep. And think about this. He did it with confidence, bro. He didn't even look at Michael Gallup. He said, ball. I see ball, go get ball. That's one of the moments in life where you're like, I've been watching film and it's finally about to pay off.
Break down that other interception. When it's 2nd and 2, break it down.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. I both interceptions, right?
You played DB or you a wide receiver?
I played DB. I played DB.
Okay, so break it down.
And I'm gonna say this real quick too. I'm gonna say this real quick because I see a lot of people saying that excuses and excuses. Listen to me, Dak Prescott. I'm gonna tell you this right now. There are some routes, and there's a lot of routes where your quarterback is throwing the ball blindly. He's gonna throw the ball blindly. That's just football, bro. Those are called timing routes. Those are called option routes. That is built into football. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you guys on that curl route, think about this. On that last week, what week was it when Dak threw the interception and they took it to the house? And it was like the play, was that the Jacksonville game?
Oh, are you talking about the Washington game?
The Washington game when he intercepted on the curl. Think about this. The play before that, what was we doing? A curl. Same thing. Mm-hmm. And then we went right back to it. Another thing that Kellen Moore does, and I'm not trying to make excuses for y'all.
It's Dak. Hold on. Before you go, because a lot of people on my end say, hey, man, you're an apologist, you're Dak apologist. But before you go into this, let me explain this right quick. This dude is giving us some analysis on what he sees, what's going on. Dak Prescott, those interceptions, by the way, those are his babies.
Yeah.
They ain't West Coast babies. Those are his babies. Those are his responsibility. Regardless if it bounce off the phalanges, ball short, curl route, hitch route, go. They are his babies. Hey, go ahead.
I want to pin this comment. I want to pin this comment right now because I love this one. When people say Dak's the only quarterback that needs all-star teams to be good. Like Kittle isn't an all pro. Like Deebo Samuels ain't an all-pro. Like Trent Williams isn't the best tackle in football. Like Joey, like Nick and Joey Bosa. I know they don't play on the same team, but goddamn, it felt like they did. Listen to me. There's not a good quarterback right now on a bad team that's in the playoffs right now. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers proved that. Aaron Rodgers proved that. Guess what? You can be the best throwing quarterback to ever throw a quarterback, and your ass will be at home if you don't have a good team around you.
Facts.
Where
the lies at? He's supposed to elevate that team. He's supposed to beat Detroit that last game. Was it win or you in? If they beat Detroit, wouldn't they be in the playoffs?
Facts.
So what was Aaron Rodgers' excuse of not making it to the playoffs?
I don't like touching another man's money, but let's just say, people always say, well, you pay what you get for West Coast. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure Green Bay fans don't feel that way because they gave him $49 million for 8 games, and that's $9 million more than Dak. And guess what? I'm pretty sure the Rams didn't feel that way because they gave Matthew Stafford damn near $47 million, and that's $7 million than Dak, and they won 6 games. Oh my God! I know you're not talking about Deshaun Watson, and I almost forgot one guy. Let's ride. They gave him $48 million, and he won 6 games, if I'm not mistaken. Think about this, Law. The 4 highest paid quarterbacks in football did not make the playoffs.
My thing is, Wes, all last year, I had a lot of people that said if Russell Wilson was on his team, we would have won multiple playoff games. We would have been in the Super Bowl. And they said we should go out there and get Russell Wilson. I don't see one person now campaigning and lobbying for Russell Wilson. And it's like, I know who they are because I got a good memory, but I'm not finna call them out. So I'm sitting here like Russell Wilson literally went over there to the Denver Broncos with a top 10 defense, actually a top 5 defense, and they had Jerry Jeudy, and they had weapons galore. They have weapons galore in a run game. How many games did they win this year? And did Russell, was he completely healthy this year? But not a soul. Y'all not speaking high on Russell Wilson no more, right?
Think about this, Cowboy Nation. It's just like this. Like, I know we don't want to, but we suck at handling failure, and we got to learn how to handle failure. You know what I'm saying? Like the Buffalo Bills, I feel, are the best example. Like, I'm pretty sure Buffalo is very extremely upset with their quarterback.
They are
very upset.
Right.
But at the same time, you know what? I love the fact that Buffalo remembers Eli Emanuel.
They know.
That's what they remember. They're like, you know what? I can't stand that mother effer today, but you know what? I might not be so mad at him in a couple months. So we just gonna chill out for right now. We gonna chill out. You know what I'm saying? And kind of do what we supposed to do. Listen to me. In life, we got to understand that sometimes it is when you have a situation like, and I said my very first video on after we lost to San Francisco was this. I said the Dallas Cowboys have a major decision they need to make, and that is this. Are you going to go all in on Dak Prescott as your quarterback, or are you going to go all in as Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator? Because the two of them do not favor each other. The reason being is because Dak needs an offensive coordinator that understands that a large part of his game is what? His ability to use his feet and his athleticism, right? Then on the other hand, think about this. Kellen Moore, who comes from think about this. Kellen Moore comes from Scott Linehan's tree. He don't come from Jason Garrett. If Scott Linehan came from Jason Garrett, he would run the ball. You want to know why? Because even in the season when Jason Garrett had won 4 games, he had a running back that had 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Darren McFadden had 1,004 yards in the season we won 4 games. You know what I'm saying? So Jason ran that ball. But I digress, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator. As much as I love Dak Prescott, you got to move on, bro. You have to, because that is not his game. And guess what? Now everybody's going to be like, see, that's why Dak sucks. You paid him $40 million. No. Because Dak never did this when he was a rookie. Go look at how many games Dak as a rookie has when he throws the ball 40 times, 37 times. Dak didn't do that. Think about this. You guys used to hate Dak because he was a dink and dunk quarterback, and he only threw 4 interceptions.
Preach.
What? You want Dak to hit home runs? Strikes got to come with it.
But you know what? Don't you know what? And this is why, and I know we probably got a few Eagles fans that's watching. This is what they doing right now with Hurts.
Yeah.
With Hurts, they said, okay, all right, we look, they did the inverse. What they did with Cowboys was, all right, we don't know if Dak Prescott's the guy. So what we're going to do is take away and see if he's the guy. Let's see if he can do it without the offensive line. Let's see if he can do it without Dez Bryant, or let's see if he can do it without a wide receiver, right? Let's see what he can do. And the team started off in 2018, 3-5. You know what I'm saying? And they said, you know what? The wide receiver by committee crap ain't working. But the Eagles did the inverse, Wes. They said, you know what? Before we pay this guy, let's see if we add weapons around him. Let's add an A.J. Brown, pay him $100 million. Let's go make sure the year prior we're going to elevate this dude, Devontae Smith, with a A.J. Brown so that he can be comfortable. Be sure, let's go get a Zach Pascal. I said this, if the Cowboys this past offseason were to go out there and picked up a Zach Pascal, you know what we've been saying? Shoot, now with the proper and right opportunity, he's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread.
Next.
He's going to be just like we talking about James Washington. We'd have been talking about Zachary Pascal. You know what I'm saying? He's a big wide receiver. He just never had the opportunity in coach land. Boy, wait till week 1. We'd have rolled out with Zach Pascal, and we'd have said, that's enough weapons. Let's see what this team can do now, Dak. You know what I'm saying? But what the Eagles did and said, all right, we're going to put weapons around him, not just on the offense, but also help out the defensive side of the coin. That's what they did.
Hey, I'm going to tell you the problem with the Cowboys, and I coined this statement a couple years back. You know, the only time in life that you can get better in something, now I'm going to just say the statement first. I'm going to just say that. All right, the Dallas Cowboys, because y'all, this is a highly intelligent group I have right here. So the Dallas Cowboys believe that they get better by subtraction.
Yeah.
While most teams in the NFL, actually 31 other teams, believe that you actually get better by addition. What do I mean by that is Dallas Cowboys feel that they look at their team and they say, you know what? We were good, but we will be better if we took this off.
Right.
The rest of the NFL is saying we're good, but we'll be better if we add this to our team. Miami Dolphins, what did they and think about this. Think about this, Law. If it's about success now, these seasons are too damn long to be waiting to, 2025, we're going to be good. This season's too good, bro.
Yeah.
So what do you need to do to get instant? We want instant success. Instant success. Instant success. What do? You add to it, bruh. You add to what you already have. And I'm going to tell you this right now. That's why I say right now, I'll fight you if you want to fire Mike McCarthy. On my mama, I'll fight over it. I'll take my shirt off right now. We can go in the garage right now. I'll fight you over Mike McCarthy. You want to know why? Because before Mike McCarthy, you know what we did? We did this exact same formula, but the only difference is the other coaches had your ass going 8-8.
8-8.
Mike McCarthy found out a way to make this team better despite Jerry Jones doing dumb stuff.
Oh, my goodness, man. You said
in back-to-back years. Bro, listen to me. Mike McCarthy can't go nowhere. Because if this was, and y'all know I got mad love for Jason Garrett, but if this was a Jason Garrett team, you're 8-8 this year. Out of every
8, 9, I say we probably 7-10. We probably 7-10.
Think about this: the last time you lost you lost Dak Prescott with a different head coach, what did you go? You know what I'm saying? And he lost his job the next year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But y'all got to look at the bigger picture. Let me just talk about the Bills right quick before we go into the other conversation. They knew Josh Allen had talent. What they said, we just got to get him a wide receiver. That's when they got Stephon Diggs. The Josh Allen that everybody loved to this day.
And he said he needed more. And they
needed more. They got Cole Beasley. They gave Gabriel Davis. Like right now, I'm talking about when Josh Allen first started to showcase his abilities, right? And we could go back and forth and talk about running backs and things like that. They don't have a running back. But they went and drafted James Cook. They went and drafted James Cook. And with that elite quarterback, all he could do, let me say this. Stephon Diggs may be comparable to CeeDee Lamb, right? Who's better right now, Stephon Diggs or CeeDee Lamb? You may say that CeeDee Lamb caught up to him right now, right?
Come on. Diggs is that dude, bro.
Diggs is still better than CD, right? All right.
I mean, I put it to you like, if you ask the two of them, I think CeeDee Lamb's going to tell you Diggs. So
we have to chat, who's
now
better.
Now there are some people, if you ask CeeDee Lamb if he's better than, he'll be like, that's me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think he would probably say that Stephon Diggs is better than him right now.
Right now. All right, but let me ask you this then, Wes. Gabe Davis. Noah Brown, who's better? That's too harsh, man. Gabe Davis or my guy Michael Gallup coming off of an ACL tear. Who's better?
100% healthy or as of right now?
As of this season, Gabriel Davis is a whole lot better than any of our number two options.
Probably Davis.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that, they had weapons over there. All they could muster up was 10 points.
Yeah.
10 points.
And think about this, Law. I'm going to tell you something else that people don't even think about with Josh Allen. There is no excuse for him to lose in the snow. You want to know why? Where did you play college at, boy?
Dakota. That joker played in North Dakota. So was it South?
Where did you play college at ball at?
I mean, where did he play it?
Listen to me. Part of the reason why the Buffalo Bills drafted your ass in the first place is because you played 5 games a season in the exact same weather. Right. I don't want to hear it.
But
I don't want to hear it.
The excuses, though.
I don't want to hear it. You played in similar weather. I don't
Wyoming. Oh, he played for Wyoming. It was the other guy that played for Trey Lance played for Dakota. Okay, so Wyoming. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time,
Cowboys,
this the same weather, bro. Same weather. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Is it cold in Wyoming?
What?
Is it
missile field. They got a missile
polar
field.
bear nuts, son. It's cold up
They
that
got
way.
a missile field in Wyoming.
I've never been to Wyoming.
I've been there in the Air Force. I don't know exactly where I was, but I know they got a missile field out there. I probably shouldn't even be saying that, so ixnay on the opixnay, actually.
You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Like, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like, I know for real. Hey, and I'm gonna tell y'all this real quick, right? Listen to me. I am making excuses. I am making some excuses. Guess what? Law Nation. If I tell my daughter that she had better have her butt home by 10 o'clock,
right,
and she walk in the house and she got dirt all over at 11, she's gonna tell me, Dad, the car broke down. I had to change the tire.
Okay.
You know what I'm gonna say? That's an excuse. And guess what? It very much is. But it's also very much true.
Yeah, true that.
But guess what? It's an excuse is still a fact. It's just about how you receive it. Now, now think about this. If you were a dad who has compassion, you know what you're gonna say? Oh, okay, don't trip. I got you. Because that's a fact. Yeah. But if you're a dad that's like, I don't give a damn, your ass should have walked home and I could have blah, 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 bam. You're gonna say, well, that's an excuse.
Yeah, true that.
So it really, excuses and facts really the fact is always going to remain. But whether it's an excuse, that's the same, man. Like, it's like, it might actually be an excuse, but at the same time, it also is very factual. Like, it's very, like, think about this, Law. Like, do we honestly think that Dak breaking his finger had nothing to do with him throwing maybe just one interception? I'm not saying all 15. Right. I'm not going to say all 15. Okay.
Yeah.
But just one. We don't think it affected one. Not even just one.
Yeah, it had to affect something because it would have been a different story if, like I heard people saying that it's in his DNA, right? It would have been a different story if he was doing that prior to the broken of the thumb, right? You know what I'm saying? We would say, all right, you know, he was throwing them things before.
His mama, listen to me. The Dallas Cowboys made a whole montage off of how Dak Prescott's mother would talk to him about throwing interceptions. And now you're telling me that guy has a problem with interceptions, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the Dallas Cowboys made a whole montage. Yeah, you know, I would come home from practice. I'd tell my mom I threw 2 interceptions, and she would get on my butt about that. You know what I'm saying? He would get on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you think that guy, think about this. I'm going to tell you this right now. I've never heard of a guy promise that he's not going to throw 2 interceptions in a game again. You know why? Because you really don't have no control over that.
No control. Look, dog.
Dak did. Right. You want to know why Dak did it? It's because I know that people don't want to throw interceptions. I get that. Nobody wants to throw interceptions. But Tony Romo didn't trip. Tony Romo said, if you're not throwing interceptions, you're not trying. That's what Tony Romo said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, though.
Dak don't believe that, though.
Tony was different, though. You know, when Bill Parcells told Tony, let it rip, I want to see interceptions in the practice because he was too conservative with the ball and he wanted him to test his limits. You see, and Bill Parcells, I truly believe, I'll go to my grave saying this.
He got away with it because he's Parcells.
But I truly believe if Parcells had the extended stay that Jason Garrett had, it would have been at least one Super Bowl in there.
Facts.
At least one Super Bowl in there because he had his 10 commandments on what a quarterback should be. You know what I'm saying? And he would have steered Tony in the right direction. And this team would have been better overall collectively. Although when we got Wade Phillips in the house, what if I told you that Wade never had a losing season? He never had one. They fired him when he was 0-6 or 1 and whatever, 6 or what have you. They fired him. They never let him finish that season. So my thing is what the Jones family continue to do is they get these coaches without matching products, meaning that when Bill Parcells was here, shout out to him. But Jerry Jones hired Coach Zimmer.
He didn't have a team.
Remember Coach Zim? He came over and he was like, hey, I run a 3-4, but we mostly run some 4-3. And it was all type of, hey, we're going to have to work things out. But they did. They managed, right? Bill Parcells was able to get this team to 2 playoffs, baby. You know, with the spoonful of players that we had coming off of a 5-11, 5-11, 5-11 season.
Who had Quincy Carter?
Bill Parcells, he took Quincy Carter to the playoff 10-6. We went 10-6 with Quincy.
Think about this. Quincy Carter, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but Quincy Carter is the only quarterback in NFL history to throw more interceptions than touchdowns and go to the playoffs. That boy threw 22 interceptions and 21 touchdowns and went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, listen, like Cowboy Nation, I know you guys don't want to accept this, but you're going in the right direction.
We are, man. We just got to get things.
Not going in the pace that you want to go. I get it. We're not going in the pace that you want to go. But guess what? Think about this. You're on the same. Like now, obviously, I feel that the AFC is a little bit easier division because you only have one major juggernaut out there, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, Cincinnati Bengals. Like, think about this. Like it at the end of the day. Anytime your season ends in the playoffs, bro, like I'm gonna kind of end it on that, man. Anytime your season ends in the playoffs, man, you gotta kind of count it as in like we had the success of our season was there, but we want to add on to it because think about this, you guys. This year, your goal should be what? To get to the NFC Championship game. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now: if you lose in the divisional round, you're gonna consider that what? Oh, we didn't grow.
Ooh, break it down. Yeah,
we didn't grow. So guess what? Also, I'm gonna tell you this right now. We also need to be thinking about this year. Next year, that we need to put ourselves in a position to only have to win 3 playoff games versus 4, because that's a lot, bruh. Winning 4 playoffs games is a lot. We need to help ourselves out. Like, guess what? You beat the Jags, you help yourself out. You beat Green Bay, you help yourself out. You beat Green Bay, you're probably at home.
Yeah.
And you only need 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. So it's like we gotta understand those things too, because a lot of that played into this, man. So, God is good, man. And I'm gonna tell you this right here, man. At the end of the day, man, I do believe that Jerry Jones and his organization do want to win a Super Bowl. I do believe that. I do not believe that you guys are following an organization that is led by guys who don't care. I do believe. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe Jerry Jones cared, bruh, go. You know what a crying kid looks like. You also we've all seen our grandparents cry over something too.
Yeah,
like
you know.
You know what
That's
that face looks like. But Law, you didn't see Big Mama cry over something before. You didn't see your grandpa cry over something before. Go watch that video, that final interview of Jerry Jones, and you tell me that young man was not crying on his waist.
Yeah, man, look with West Coast. We can want a lot of things and hope for it, but you know it, man. Even the good man upstairs, he can say, okay, you can have all of the faith in the world, right? But without works, it's dead. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, Jerry can say all what he wants. But the reality of it is that, when you do those DIY projects, do-it-yourself projects, you may sit back and say, it look good. Yeah, man, that tile that I laid myself look good. Or that wood and that hardwood floor I laid myself look good. I saved a lot of money, but you get to walking on it, and pieces are coming up. It's shifting on you, right? It may look good from the human eye. And when you don't have the resources that's supposed to have the proper people out there to correct those things, it just look good on paper. It just look good that you said you bought those things. Just like a house with poor foundation. You can slap paint on it all you want. It can still crack and still eventually show up. The toilet water won't flush. The cabinet doors won't close right because the foundation is broken. The way you set up and built your house is terrible. And Jerry Jones, for all of these years, been building a nice, pretty house, beautiful, but there's cracks in the foundations. There are things that he got to step back and say, let the professionals do it. That DIY project, hey, it look good. It look good. I laid my own shingles, y'all. I put it up there. But when it rained, the water seeps through there, because he's not a professional in that product. So Jerry need to get out the way, just like we all know. Come on, Wes. Mike McCarthy didn't really want Kellen Moore. That's not even a part of him. That's not even his branch.
No, he didn't.
Not even his son.
And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Mike McCarthy took this job with the expectation of thinking that he was gonna be calling plays because he actually said it in his first interview. If you go look at the interview, they asked him who would be calling plays, and he actually alluded to the fact that he was gonna be running everything. Then on the next interview, that's when he said he had full faith in Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's something that you also got to understand and remember too. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, listen to me, you guys. Like, at the end of the day, like I want to always let y'all understand this, that I 100% believe that the Dallas Cowboys each and every year, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, the NFL and winning the Super Bowl is probably outside of FIFA, probably the hardest trophy to win. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The guy who's projected to win it at the beginning never wins it in the end. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the cool thing about the NFL is, guess what? The journey is probably equally as important as holding the trophy up, and how you actually walk in because, like, think about this. The Dallas Cowboys, we use our regular season to fix holes when other teams are using their regular season to improve their team. Ooh. Guess what? How many games did the 49ers play with their running back, who knows who he is, before they was like, yeah, we need something else? And then that's the difference.
Then they traded one of their guys for remunizations and draft capital.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like
it's equivalent to us trading Davis to get something back in return. Since you're already not going to use him, you might as well get something from him. Oh yeah, and somebody said in the chat, your name just skipped away. It said, "Well, hold on, Law. Mike McCarthy did bring in Mike Nolan, you know what I'm saying? So what's your point, But
my point is this: Mike McCarthy shouldn't be picking his friends for defensive coordinator. There you go.
Right. But also, I do look at it from this. That is a strong point. But West Coast, if you're gonna fall still fighting, right? At least you're gonna have the wherewithal to hire your guys. If you're going to lose, at least lose on your terms, but not lose on someone else's. That's my point on that one.
Facts.
That's my point on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, that's why I think like right now, Cowboys fans, listen to me. You don't want to tear apart a 12-5 team that lost in the second round of the playoffs. I'm begging you guys.
Right.
I get it. Listen to me, you guys. I actually went to the game, 2 games, was a time away from my family, and I'm not going to try to make it seem like my fandom is better than yours. I'm just saying I know we all sacrificed. Right. We all sacrificed this year, but I promise you guys, you do not want to tear apart a 12-5 team that lost in the second round of the playoffs, especially with this organization and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones running it. That makes no sense. What you need to be preaching right now, and the Cowboys don't suck every year unless 12 wins is sucking. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hold on before you say that. Anything else, Wes? That's the narrative, though. They count all of the
we're the only ones. That's because we're the only team expected to win the Super Bowl every year.
Every year.
Even though we suck.
Right. That's real. Hey, y'all, that's real talk.
How can we suck? How can we suck every year? How can the narrative be that we suck every year, even though you guys get mad at us for wanting to win the Super Bowl every year? That doesn't make no sense.
Oh, man.
And also, I'm going to tell you a power stat. As much talk as we talk, the Niners ain't won a Super Bowl in 26 years either.
28.
Hell you mean?
I ain't 28. 28. They might have been there.
2 more games, bruh.
That's why I'm saying, man, the Niners or the Eagles. I need the AFC team to win though this year though. Hey, Wes, man, I gotta get ready for the final word, man. But hey, in honor of the final word, let's give your final words then.
Shoot, my final words is this, man. This is a year that we want to add on to what we have. We are not. Listen to me. I think Law broke this down so well, and then I added to it. We have tried to how to fix our team. Listen, your team is not your team is a body, right?
Right.
But we don't have cancer, right? And if you do, I pray for you. I pray you heal and I pray you strength. But we don't have a cancer. We don't have nothing we need to cut out. You know what I'm saying? We are famished. We need to add to this body. This body needs to be fed.
Right.
Need to be fed.
Right.
Like they're cornerstones. I'm gonna ask you this right now. How many different variations of a starting offensive line do you think you had this year? Well, there's 17, so I would think we had at least 17. At least 17.
Everybody changed their spot this year, but Zach Martin.
Everybody.
4 out of 5.
You had at least 17 different variations of a starting offensive line this year. So that's why I'm trying to tell Cowboy Nation, we need to be, he said, except for Kellen Moore. Absolutely. But guess what? We want him to get promoted.
We want him to get promoted. We ain't hating Kellen. You know, we got nothing but love for Kellen Moore. We want him to get promoted and do a great job for the Carolina Panthers. Come on, Kellen Moore. He's a genius, right?
Well, shoot, that's my final word, man. Hey, I appreciate you, Law, for allowing me to come on the show, man. Hey, and you guys know I'll be live in the morning at 10 a.m. to 11. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm a delusional ass Cowboy fan. I wear it with pride. Right. So
right.
There's only one way to be. There's only one way to be, and that's all the way in the boat. I'm all the way in the boat.
Man, dude, you spitting the truth right there, because they weaponize their word delusional. They say we crazy, man. All I know is we supposed to be blind, crippled, and crazy. Blind enough to walk by faith, crazy enough to know that he will make a way out of no way, and crippled enough to lean on him. So that's how crazy we are with this particular team. We got nothing but optimum faith with this team, but at the same time, we do call out some of the warts with this team. I appreciate you so much.
Yes, sir, man. And Law, I appreciate you too, man. And hey, man, for everybody that's watching, make sure you guys hit those. If you're watching on Law Nation and you haven't subbed to West Coast, please go over to West Coast Cowboy and hit that sub button. And likewise, if you're watching on Facebook right now or YouTube, I need you to go over to Law Nation right now at YouTube and hit that sub button, man. Mm-hmm. And I promise you, we're going to give you guys some type of shout out or something like this, man. But hey, you guys already know what I like to say is when I get up here, get out of here. And that is what? Never look down because the star's up.